Welcome back to the Explanation Pro. Today I am going to recap a war/drama film released in the year 1989, titled Casualties of War. Spoilers alert, watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Max Erikson, a veteran of the Vietnam War, riding the subway in 1974, when he all of a sudden has a flashback from his time in the war. A younger Vietnamese lady boards the education just as it is about to go away from the station. Erikson glances at her with a disturbed expression on his face, as he recollects the incidents that happened during the Vietnam War. In the month of November in 1966, a crew of United States troops headed by Lieutenant Riley is out on patrol in the jungle when they are abruptly ambushed by individuals of the Viet Cong. During the attack, the ground underneath Erikson splits up and he falls into a gap that is part of a tunnel gadget that runs beneath the jungle. Erikson is now trapped inside the tunnel. He was about to be killed when Sergeant Tony Meserve dragged him out of the way and shot a Viet Cong who used to be about to attack him. This saved his life. The subsequent morning, Erikson and Meserve, together with the different members of their squad, Corporal Thomas Clark, Private Hatcher, and Expert for Brownie, are resting for a breather in a river village located in the Central Highlands. Brownie is clearly sitting and having a good time when all of a sudden he gets shot in the neck, inflicting a lot of blood to lose. Apparently the village they conquered was safe from the Viet Cong. Brownie is taken to the health center by helicopter after the troops are successful in fending off the attack. The platoon has been ordered to return to their domestic base. Brownie is not able to make his existence long. The death of Brownie has a significant impact on Meserve's life. Following the incident that took place with Brownie, Meserve requested time off for a squad for the trauma they had from the attack. But they are denied. They have already made preparations to spend the night in the closest village. However, they are required to document for duty the next morning at 6 in the morning. It is Meserve's intention to visit a brothel in the area, however not until after he has informed the squad that Brownie has died. As a result of his injuries, a military police officer, who is additionally their company commander, does not permit the squad to enter the brothel. Private First Class Antonio Diaz has come to take over as the stand-in for the radio operator. Meserve informs his troops that their next mission will contain kidnapping a local girl for their non-public entertainment. Since the squad was denied taking time off, Meserve makes an effort to legitimize the abduction by declaring that they will requisition the girl. Erikson confides in his chum Rowan about his worries. However, Rowan relieves Erikson's anxieties by assuring him that Meserve is absolutely kidding. Just as the squad enters the village, Owen is kidnapped in front of her mother and sister. Owen's mom could only cry and beg to free her daughter. But Meserve laughs as nothing happens. Everyone in the village witnessed the abduction and no one ever dared to fight in opposition to the American soldiers. The squad brings Owen to their mission and even makes her bring some heavy matters and makes her their servant. Meserve assures Erikson that the two of them are going to have a good time with the lady once they attain their outpost. Both Erikson and Diaz are opposed to the concept, and Erikson expresses to Meserve that there is absolutely no way that he will take part in the assault. The squad teases Erikson for being a homosexual and afraid to take cost of the assault. Meserve puts Erikson's life in danger and makes every effort to convince him to participate. Erikson keeps his composure in the face of pressure from his senior commanders. Diaz is unwilling to go in opposition to his comrades and he participates in order to prevent himself from turning into an outcast inside the group. When Clark holds a knife to Erikson's neck and instructs him to go on defense for the night, Erikson is furious and equipped to wait for Owen. However, Clark stops him. As Hatcher moves away from him, he becomes cautious to keep his gun pointed at him so that he does not do anything. Erikson feels powerless and appalled as he watches his other troopers take turns in the cabin with Owen, while he is stationed as a watchman. Later on, the squad will have to establish a function on a railroad bridge that looks out over a river supply depot that is managed by the Viet Cong and serves as the enemy's headquarters. Both Erikson and Hatcher make their way lower back to the outpost in order to get some more weapons and ammunition supply. Clark is eager to have a piece of the action, so he instructs Erikson to watch over the girl whilst he and Hatcher go have some fun. Erikson is well aware of the severity of Owen's remedy of the soldiers. She is unwell, dehydrated, weak and crying all day and night, and she has cuts and bruises. Owen has been significantly tortured by Erikson seniors and he can't do anything about this. Erikson gives Owen something to eat and some drink when Clark and Hatcher exhibit at the house without Erikson. Meserve explodes with anger. He instructs Erikson to get again to the outpost and bring the girl and himself back. There, when Erikson is familiar with that he would be considered a fugitive if he leaves the outpost with Owen in order to bring her to safety. He is nearly about to depart with her. Erickson makes the decision to go away after seeing how eager the girl is for him to accompany her. However, simply as they are ready to go, Clark appears and places a stop to their escape attempt. The squad is retaining an eye on the railroad for an opportunity to strike. Meserve orders Erickson to murder Owen due to the fact she is coughing and might alert the authorities. Hatcher is ordered to do it by Meserve when Erickson refuses. But he protests that he has no hobby in doing it. When Clark spots the incoming helicopters, Meserve urgently tells Diaz to kill Owen. Diaz is about to stab her while Meserve urges him, but Erickson shoots into the air to draw the interest of the Viet Cong and put a stop to the murder. Clark stabs her several times during the shootout, but Erickson is too preoccupied with the different enemy soldiers to notice when the Viet Cong brings their weapons up the river and starts launching rounds at the bridge. The situation becomes critical. Using a machine gun, Meserve kills them. Bleeding closely from her stab wounds, Owen slowly rises to her feet and attempts to get away, walking in tears and looking like there was once no hope to survive. Meserve gives the command to open fire and the crew executes it when Erickson steps in to help. Meserve shoots and knocks him out after Owen is shot by the squad. Her corpse is thrown off the bridge and dies on the cliff. Erickson sees this and only sees the helpless Owen on the ground. Following Meserve's direction, his troops have fled the area, slowly losing consciousness from the blow to the head delivered by means of Meserve. Erickson watches as helicopters fly in and fire missiles at the riverboat. The Viet Cong have been using a U.S. Navy ship in the place that was destroyed by fire. As a result of the explosion, Erickson is taken by way of a helicopter to the nearby hospital, where he later returns to consciousness. Rowan learns from him that Owen is kidnapped, raped and finally murdered. Rowan instructs him to see Lieutenant Riley and speak with him. Riley offers Rowan a prolonged response on how the event may harm the tactical file of his squad, and he proposes that it is better to simply forget about the incident altogether, considering the fact that this has been a normal thing in the military. Rowan is now not convinced by Riley's reasoning. Erickson is so intent on seeing that justice is served that he is inclined to put his military career at threat by going behind Riley's return and telling Captain Hill about the situation. Hill takes a severe approach to the remember, berating Erickson and encourages him to pursue the matter by informing him that the troopers won't receive a good deal of a sentence if they are convicted and that they could make life very challenging for him. Erickson and his family, when they are released from prison, Hill's method is harsh because he believes that Erickson is more likely to pursue the count number if he is encouraged to do so by Hill. He claims that this will end in significant issues on a world scale, and he informs Erickson that he is not required to provide records of this. Erickson is surprised to hear this. It will bring nothing but shame to the United States military. Clark, who is unaware of the fact that Erickson has already alerted his superiors, makes an effort to kill Erickson with a grenade when Erickson sees Hatcher greeting Clark while the latter is hidden from view inside the bathroom. He will become suspicious that something fishy is going on. Erickson notices the bomb and bolts out of the toilet simply in time to escape the explosion before it occurs. Meserve is introduced into the argument by Erickson, who then uses a shovel to strike Clark. He informs them that each person is already aware of what they have done and that no one in Energy wants to listen to him, even if they had been aware of it. At the bar, Erickson numbs his pain with alcohol and opens up to a preacher about his struggles in life. After the loss of life of Owen is found during the midst of an inquiry, Captain Hill informs Erickson that the axe he took would have consequences. Due to the fact that he was unable to leave the count alone, the soldiers are put on trial before the court-martial. Meserve is given a sentence of 10 years of tough labor, Diaz is given a sentence of 8 years of hard labor, Hatcher is given a sentence of 15 years of hard labor, and Clark is given a sentence of existence in prison with the possibility of parole. Meserve bends up to Erickson's ear as they go away from the court, and with a frantic expression on his face, he whispers something inaudible. Erickson stares at Meserve. The film ends with, at this point, Erickson has returned to the present moment. Severely bothered after waking up from his flashback on the train when the train arrives at the subsequent station, the Vietnamese lady who always brings up recollections of one gets off. When he saw that the woman had forgotten her scarf, he immediately grabbed it and got off the teacher in San Francisco, so he could give it again to her as she was walking up to the avenue level to travel to Mission Dolores Park. The younger Vietnamese lady observes Erickson's haunted expression. She asks Erickson directly whether or not he reminds the girl of anybody, and she tries to reassure him by telling him that his nightmare is now over. A smirk can just nearly be seen on Erickson's face. Thanks for watching our today's recap. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel to see our upcoming videos. So, see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.